Oh, cool, an airline pilot. Hey, I want to be an airline pilot too someday.
Oh no. Not another one. Are you serious?
Yeah, that must be the greatest job in the world. You must love it. I mean, getting to fly those cool planes and playing with all that cool stuff.
Listen, we don't even get to fly the planes anymore. It's all done by computers and autopilots. You would have more fun in your living room in front of your computer playing Flight Simulator. All we usually do is land the thing at the end of the flight. That is why that is usually the worst part of your flight. The rest of the time we just sit on our asses reading the paper, playing with our laptops while eating stale airline snacks and drinking bad coffee made with gross aircraft water. Because of sheer boredom, sleeping and various distractions we bring in the cockpit with us, we occasionally fly past the destination airport, but hey, shit happens on any job.
But it must be fun working as a crew, together, just the two of you.
Oh, real fun. Each month you hope you don't get paired with the biggest asshole pilot at the company. The one no one wants to fly with. If you are the first officer, you will probably have to endure a month with some miserable old dude whose third wife is at home banging her aerobics instructor. On the other hand, if you are a senior captain, you will most likely have to endure a month of babysitting some 25-year-old first officer chick with no experience, who cannot fly, and just wants to talk about herself and her new boyfriend, while text messaging the entire time you are trying to taxi at Chicago. Since she is no help to you, sooner or later you will be violated for something like exceeding 250 knots below 10,000 feet, or making some other error resulting in a runway incursion.
Yeah, but pilots get to travel to cool places, right? The layovers and stuff.
Sure, real cool places. If your idea of cool is Rochester, New York, Fargo, North Dakota, Knoxville, Tennessee, and Newark, New Jersey. And hotels like Holiday Inn or Motel 6, usually in the bad part of town. We also get to eat at great places like Waffle House and Denny's. If you actually do go anywhere cool, you either don't have the time to do anything fun, or are too cheap to do it. You can easily blow your entire day's pay on one overnight, so we usually just watch TV in our hotel rooms and jerk off.
Shit, that does not sound fun.
I hate overnights. First you drag your bags through the airport, then wait in the cold for the hotel van to pick you up. Then enjoy a bone-jarring ride to a roach hotel. Finally get into your room to find out it smells like someone has just urinated all over it while smoking a cigar. In the morning, after a bad night's sleep, you may be covered with bed bug bites. Hotels know that flight crews transport bed bugs, so they usually keep separate rooms at each hotel just for us. Nice. By the way, your wife will love it when you bring them home. Next time you are in an airport, just look at a pilot or a flight attendant. The pilots are usually worn out looking, wearing cheap battered shoes and cheap wrinkled uniforms. We have to live out of this little black bag, dragging it around full of dirty underwear and more wrinkled clothes. We have to go through these metal detectors and X-ray machines so many times we are all guaranteed to get cancer.
The overnights don't sound that great when you put it that way.
Overnight sick. Most pilots now take a laptop with them. This is mainly to look at porn in the hotel room, but also occasionally to check email, call the wife and Skype the kids so they hopefully remember you somewhat when you finally get back home.
You said you stay at a crash pad. That sounds cool. What is that like?
Oh, only the coolest place to hang out. You get to spend about a third of your nights at one each month. Just imagine a grown man in his 30s, 40s or 50s sleeping on a used twin mattress placed on the floor in the corner of an unfurnished dirty room. In that room is probably 3 other mattresses, one in each corner. For this you pay $200 a month. This is where you will often stay while working. You will learn to love it. Pilots make so little money that many just sleep in their cars at the airports or in the crew rooms while at work. Some pilots are more creative and live in a broken-down old RV in the airport parking lot.
Crap, that does not sound cool. Hey, but the flight attendants are hot. It must be fun hanging out partying with those girls on the overnights.
Oh yeah, they are a swell bunch to party with for sure. If you enjoy spending 5 days and nights with flaming homosexual men in cheap hotels, you will love it. Or maybe you prefer the bitter middle-aged divorced women. I prefer the 18-year-old trailer trash girls from Alabama with 3 legitimate kids myself. Most first officers bang them the first month they are there before realizing they carry every venereal disease known. These are not people you would choose to hang out with on your days off, but you will be forced to spend an entire month together all day and all night at the same hotel. There is nothing more depressing than spending Christmas Eve in some low-budget hotel with thin walls listening to a gay flight attendant in the room next to yours banging some guy he picked up at a bar 2 hours ago.
Okay, but it must be cool being a professional pilot. I mean, I want to be a professional too.
Look, the only qualifications for this job are a few hours of flight training. No master's degree. No PhD. There is nothing professional about it. It is a total blue-collar job. You don't even need a college education or high school diploma to do this job well. We are not professionals. Look, do professionals wear dumb uniforms like this? No. Trash collectors do. Car mechanics do.
I see the similarity.
Professionals determine what they wear, where they work, when they work, and for how much. Management decides these things for us. Some 20-year-old scheduler determines what I do all day. If we misbehave, we are taken to the chief pilot's office like a small child for a little spanking and veiled threats. Whenever the company wants, they take me into a small room and force me to stay there until I urinate in a cup. Real professionals don't have to do that. Nor do they belong to unions. Factory workers do.
Pilots don't sound very special.
Pilots are fungible. Unions like to tell pilots they are professionals to make them feel respected, special. I am not special. If I drop dead right now, a reserve pilot will be called in to fly your flight to Buffalo in 5 minutes.
I don't know if I like the idea of being fungible for the rest of my life. Sounds disposable.
Pilots are disposable because they have no unique skill. Anyone can be a pilot. Anyone. You can be the most experienced pilot in the world when you apply to an airline, but you go to the bottom of the seniority list. Experience means nothing, so you start at the lowest pay. If pilots were professionals, then their experience would mean something financially.
You are shattering my image of the professional pilot, man.
Look, the bottom line is pilots are not professionals. I figured this out when the union told me to strike and told me I had to walk around in a little circle in front of the airport holding a silly little sign that said something stupid. I knew then that I was not a professional but a moron. The union even told me how to hold the sign since they figured I was too stupid to figure this out.
Wow, I thought the union negotiates good deals for pilots.
Yeah, like we only have to work 15 consecutive hours per day maximum. Shit, who else has to work 15 hours a day? Wow, 9 hours off per day. That's great bargaining.
That sounds terrible. How does your family like your job?
Are you serious? First, if you become a pilot, expect at least 2 divorces, probably 3. This will of course devastate you financially, guaranteeing you will die broken with no loved ones around you. Your children will become estranged as you will miss most important events in their lives. Birthdays, anniversaries, holidays. Your family will eventually hate you. Your kids will start using coke, meth, ecstasy, and alcohol. You will become an alcoholic yourself. Any more questions about that?
No, but if you didn't love it, why don't you quit?
Look, the only reason I am still flying at 42 years old is because I am a loser who cannot find anything else to do. I have absolutely no other skills or education. If I lose my medical certificate, which can happen for 100 medical conditions, or if I get laid off, I am screwed and will have to apply to Home Depot. Unfortunately, I am now destined to become some middle-aged man in a worn-out cheap uniform that looks like a kid's Halloween costume. To live out of a beat-up suitcase smelling of dirty laundry. To spend my life in smelly hotel vans, stinky crash pads, and spending half my life in bad hotels alone. To spend more time with gay men than gay men spend with gay men. Somewhere I still have a wife with 2 kids. Plus a 3rd kid with my first wife. I keep pictures of them on my iPhone. They are kind of like an iPhone app. Everyone says this one kid looks nothing like me. What do you think?
Well, it's hard to say. Wow, this has really been eye-opening. I can't believe you have been so candid with me. I think I may need to reconsider my career path.
It is difficult being candid about my job, but since I can now hide behind this cartoon character, I feel I can finally speak the truth, kind of like WikiLeaks. Hopefully without major repercussions. However, most likely the union will send thugs out to smash my car windshield in the airport employee parking lot tonight, while I am at a hotel jerking off. Anyway, if just one young person avoids destroying their life in this field, I will have succeeded in my mission. Have a good flight.